Hi friends, Epic Gangnam Style here. And today I'm going to teach you boys and girls about the 12 steps of intimacy.
Oh, baby!
Now, if you don't know what the 12 steps of intimacy is, it's a step-by-step guideline teaching how to reach maximal levels of physical intimacy with the opposite sex. It'll take you from making eye contact with a cute girl at a cafe all the way to taking her home and making that sweet, sweet monkey love. Like, this might seem like such a random, such a weird, such a creepy, outright disgusting video. But trust me, I have a really funny story behind it. So basically, I was taught the 12 steps of intimacy in my 8th grade biblical studies class in my Christian-ass school. So one day in the 8th grade, me and my classmates, we walked into my biblical studies teacher's classroom. We all pulled out our Bibles. We were ready to study some memory verses. We were ready to get tested on Leviticus or some shit like that. He turned on his projector and lo and behold, he presented the class with the 12 steps of intimacy. Now mind you, I went to a Christian-ass school, alright? We were never taught anything about sex education. Whenever sex was brought up, it was brought up from a purely biological standpoint. They only taught us about the biological mechanisms. They never talked anything about the relationship, romantic aspect of it. So when our biblical studies teacher told us today that he was going to teach us about how to be intimate with the person of the opposite sex, it was straight up pornography. And boy, our lives were never the same after that lesson. So come along with me on this journey, reliving the most traumatic lesson I've ever had. And just as a preface to this video, this is exactly what we were taught in the 8th grade, alright? This is literally the text that we got in the 8th grade. I'm actually sweating. Like, this is such a traumatic, disturbing memory for me. So let's start off at the first step. Eye to body. A glance reveals much about a person: sex, size, shape, age, personality, and status. The importance people place on these criteria determines whether or not they will be attracted to each other. So far it's pretty standard, you know, as far as this list goes. You take a look at someone and you're either attracted to them or you're fucking disgusted by them. So the next step is eye to eye. When the man and woman who are strangers to each other exchange glances, their most natural reaction is to look away, usually with embarrassment. If their eyes meet again, they may smile, which signals that they might like to become better acquainted. That's pretty accurate, right? You're looking at someone, you're checking them out, and you accidentally make eye contact and you look away. And you might look into each other's eyes again for a passing glance, and maybe that signals that you are interested. The third step is voice to voice. The initial conversations are trivial and include questions like, what is your name? What do you do for a living? During this long stage, the two people learn much about each other's opinions, pastimes, activities, habits, hobbies, likes and dislikes. If they're compatible, they become friends. You see someone, you're checking them out, you make eye contact, and then you start a conversation. You're like, hey, how's it going?
You like jazz?
You know, standard shit like that. It makes it seem like it's that easy, right? You can just strike up a conversation with someone, ask them if you like the same things, and then you instantly become friends. Like, that's one of the things that, even as a kid, I knew, like, no way is that easy, dude. But anyway, the next step is hand to hand. The first instance of physical contact between the couple is usually a non-romantic occasion, such as when the man helps the woman descend a high step or aids her across an obstacle. The fuck? Like, what kind of world are we living in where you meet someone at the cafe and you have to hold their hand to help them go down the stairs? I feel like hand holding is sort of like endgame material. Like, this is step 4 out of step 12. Like, if I had to make my own list, like, hand holding would be step 12. Like, I don't know if that's weird. I feel like holding hands is like you're pretty much married at that point. At this point, either of the individuals can withdraw from the relationship without rejecting the other. What does that even mean? Is it talking about the girl being so tsundere that when you grab her hand, she's like, oh no, you die! Step 5. Hand to shoulder. This affectionate embrace is still non-committal. It is a buddy type position in which the man and woman are side by side. They are more concerned with the world in front of them than they are with each other. The hand to shoulder contact reveals a relationship that is more than a close friendship, but probably not real love. Why the hell is hand to shoulder after hand to hand? Why the fuck would that be step 5? That'd be like step 1. Like I put my hands on like my friend's shoulders, like, hey buddy, like what's up? Like how does that any indicator of romantic interest, much less sexual interest? But anyway, step 6 is when it starts to get a bit it starts to get a bit steamy in here, dude. Step 6, hand to waist. Because it is not something two people of the same sex would ordinarily do, it is clearly romantic. What kind of fucking logic is that? They are close enough to be sharing secrets or intimate language with each other. What the hell does intimate language even mean?
Like French?
Like French. Yeah, step 6 in the dating process, you start speaking French to each other. Yet, as they walk side by side with hand to waist, they are still facing forward. The hell does that even mean? Yeah, of course you're gonna be facing forward if you have your hands on someone's waist. Like, what the hell? Like, step 7, face to face. This level of contact involves gazing into one another's eyes, hugging and kissing. If none of the previous steps were skipped, the man and woman will have developed a special code from experience that enables them to engage in deep communication with very few words. At this point, sexual desire becomes an important factor in the relationship.
Oh yeah.
In a Christian school, dude, we never even heard anything about romance or anything like that. We're taught that abstinence is the way, sex is strictly for reproduction, as it was taught in the Bible. If there was a rumor that you had a crush on someone, the teacher would talk to you about like it's okay to have these feelings for someone of the opposite gender, but as long as you're thinking about God always, then that's alright. Like that's how Christian my school was. The amount of carnage and chaos that ensued after our teacher told us about making out, I can still hear those screams to this day.
Why do people scream?
We were supposed to be watching fucking VeggieTales. That's what was happening in that semester. And then right out of nowhere, this teacher hits us with a curveball, dude, teaching us how to make out. Step 8 is hand to head. This is an extension of the previous stage. The man and woman tend to cradle or stroke each other's head. Not that kind of head, mind you, you fucking perverts. While kissing or talking. Rarely do individuals in our culture touch the head of another person unless they are either romantically involved or are family members. It is a designation of emotional closeness. Why is hand to head after making out? Just because it's not something that our culture normally does, doesn't mean it's romantic, right? Just because I pick my friend's nose, that's not something that our culture usually does. Doesn't mean that I want to go down on him. But anyway, steps 9 to 12. That's when all of our lives were changed forever. None of us were the same after our teacher smacked down levels 9 to 12 on our 8th grade heads. This is just straight up softcore pornography. 50 Shades of Grey has nothing on steps 9 to 12. Our mind, our tender, innocent 8th grade hearts, they were fucking shattered in an instant. So step 9, hand to body. This is the first part of getting really intimate. Touching one another's bodies. Touching of neck, breasts, upper arm, stomach, back. You are breathless. It is difficult to slow down. Once you get here, it's like standing on top of a mountain on rollerblades. Difficult to stop once you get going.
Oh yeah.
You can call it making out. You can call it making out. How is that teacher not in fucking prison? Like, holy shit. He thought it was a good idea to teach us about putting our hands on the opposite gender's body. At this point, we're fucking freaking out, dude. We're like, please stop, dude. Dude, stop talking. We don't want to learn about this anymore, dude. Stop there. Step 9. That's it, dude. Don't keep going. But despite our 8th grade pleas, he kept going, dude, to step 10. This is where shit hits the fucking fan. And after step 9 is the most filthy, the most fucking smut-filled step of all. Veterans, they have stories about having PTSD flashbacks to Vietnam, to fucking Korea, to Afghanistan, to Iraq. None of that compares to how the carnage and how the chaos ensued in that 8th grade class would change our lives forever. I can still hear the screams. Step 10, you're not ready for this. Kids, cover your ears, cover your eyes, cover fucking everything, alright? Shut this video off because step 10 will change your life, dude. He clicked the button, the next slide on his PowerPoint showed up. Step 10 is mouth to breast. When we saw that mouth to breast projected on the whiteboard, when we heard our 40-year-old biblical studies teacher who was just the other week reading us the book of John, and now he's talking about putting our mouths on some girl's tits. You know how fucking traumatizing that is? We were all screaming, we were all banging on our damn desk, Bibles were thrown across the room, dude, everyone's praying, begging the Lord Jesus that you'll still be accepted into heaven despite experiencing this absolute smut. He was in complete damage control. He was like, kids, calm down. This is a completely normal part of a healthy Christian relationship, all right? Mouth to breast, this is something that you're gonna do. I do this all the time with my wife. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. It's a normal part of a healthy sexual experience. Oh, hey little Jake, what did you learn about in biblical studies today? Our biblical studies teacher taught us that we have to suck on someone else's tits as a part of a healthy relationship. Mom, holy shit, dude. Mouth to fucking breast. Like, we fucking set that classroom on fire, dude. Like, legit, there was fire everywhere. Fucking, we were burning Bibles. We were drawing pentagrams on the ground. We were sacrificing that one weird kid to fucking Satan. Just because our Christian biblical studies teacher told us to suck on somebody else's tits. I've been through some shit that I would never wish upon my worst enemy, but step 10, dude, step 10 of the 12 steps to intimacy, never again, dude. Hashtag never again, hashtag me too, hashtag time's up. Where were those hashtags when we needed it in the 8th grade, dude? But anyway, after step 10, there was no coming back from it, dude. We were all just so jaded to everything, dude. Like, at that point, we've already heard it all. Nothing he could have said after step 10 would faze us after this. Steps 11 and 12, touching below the waist and intercourse, like, there was nothing at this point. It was nothing compared to the chaos that he ensued during step 10. But anyway, there you have it. The 12 steps of intimacy, the most traumatic lesson that I've ever had to learn in my entire life, dude. And I hope that you guys have learned something. That's mine.
Which one is it?
Again, trying to steal my bubble tea. I hope you guys have learned something from this video. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to one of my most traumatic memories in my life. I hope that it was somewhat enjoyable for you. I'm still in fucking, like, my heart is beating so fast and so hard. I'm sweating profusely through this shirt, right? This shirt is fucking damp, dude. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the subscribe button below. Be uploading way more traumatic Christian school stories in the future, so I know I have a bunch of them. Leave a comment down below. Curious to know if you guys have any similar stories, if you guys are as equally as traumatized as I am. But anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna take a hot shower because I feel fucking filthy. And I'll see you guys later.